So really, I think it's going to be relatively hit or miss. That's the good news for us headed into tomorrow. So if you've got some plans, maybe out and about, you shouldn't run into too many issues. We've got a couple different periods where I think rain will be a bit more likely. Right now, it's just a lot of those clouds that are continuing to roll over downtown Cleveland, but this may eventually open up the door to some of that rain by the time we wake up early tomorrow morning. So that is the next big thing we are tracking for you. We've been really monitoring this complex of showers and embedded thunderstorms for the last several hours. A lot of this actually generating out over Lake Michigan and moving through the southern part of Michigan and then into northern Ohio. And most of it has been out over the lake, but we've got a couple of these different line segments just off to the west. Those may be a bit more productive for us as we head into the next several hours. As for right now, things have been relatively quiet. We've just had a couple of these showers in one boundary that you can see as it continues to cross over the lake. It generates a couple more of these hit or miss showers and thunderstorms into the northern tier of our country, or our counties, I should say. But overall, this is really just going to be a very isolated hit or miss chance for rain. Most of this off towards the east. Eastern counties will be favored, at least as we go to bed tonight. And temperatures, because of the cloud cover, they're sitting relatively warmer. The exception, New Philly at 53, but most of us are sitting upper 50s to low 60s. So do anticipate another similar night to what we had last night, with temperatures mid 50s overnight. And again, just a few passing showers, a couple rumbles of thunder. Not expecting severe weather tonight. We will walk you through where this rain will be as we head into your Sunday, coming up in your first alert forecast. As we go through the overnight hours tonight, don't be surprised if you hear a little rain hitting the windows as you head to bed, or even if you hear a couple rumbles of thunder. I do think a lot of this activity will mainly be confined to our northern counties. The closer you are to the lake, the better the opportunity. But this activity will eventually sink to the south. So there'll be a couple of different windows tomorrow where we have this better, more organized chance for rain. First thing in the morning and then late tomorrow night as the cold front closes in. In between those two time periods, a lot more of these showers will be more hit or miss, and it'll be breezy from time to time, but still talking a mild day to wrap up the weekend. Once we get into early this next week, though, that cold front I just mentioned tomorrow night shakes up our entire weather pattern. It's going to bring more rain back to the region. It's also going to really cool off those temperatures as those winds pick up through the middle part of the work week. You'll notice we did have some rain out there today. Most of it actually stayed a little farther to the south because that boundary, which could have kept activity a little closer to the lakeshore, continued to drift farther inland. And so that's where the focus was for a lot more of this rain. Now, as we head to the overnight, I do anticipate more of our northern counties will start to see some of this activity. That boundary has meandered a little bit farther to the north, but this activity that we've been monitoring on radar, not really associated with this stalled out boundary. This will come into play as we head through tomorrow, but as for tonight, not a huge issue for us at this time. It just helps to keep our temperature a little bit more on the mild side. This has been what we've been monitoring. So we've seen a lot more of these showers, couple rumbles of thunder trying to get going across northern Summit County, parts of Cuyahoga County, but mainly into Geauga County. You look at Bainbridge up towards Newbury, even Munson, Chardon, even up towards the Thompson area. This is where we have some more of those light showers starting to mix in. A little bit heavier rain north of 90 here in Lake County, Paynesville up towards North Perry, and then eventually out towards Geneva on the lake. But for the most part, this is just going to be a very steady light rain for us here as we go through the next couple of hours, as we then wait for this cold front to kind of move this better opportunity for rain out of here. Now, as that wind starts to change back out of the north, what it will do is it helps to pull that colder air out over the lake. And so early next week, it becomes more so those lake enhanced showers that we're going to be monitoring across the area. Here's your future view. Let's take you through it. You'll notice as we head through the overnight hours, a couple more of these showers drifting through from time to time. Again, we do anticipate that this will sink south of the lakeshore early tomorrow morning, but once it clears, we're in for a relatively quieter weather day tomorrow. So clouds will stick around, but we will likely have a couple just of those hit or miss showers through the midday hours and then through the early part of tomorrow evening. By tomorrow night, that's when that cold front starts to come together. It will spark some of those scattered showers and storms across the area. Then you get that northerly flow, which helps to bring us those better rain chances through the early part of this next week. So since we're building in some cooler temperatures, don't be surprised if from time to time tomorrow, even into Monday, we hear a couple rumbles of thunder. That is to be expected because we may get some of those small hailstones up in those clouds, giving you that chance for some thunder. Otherwise, the wind will start to subside side on Wednesday. And once we get past the middle part of the work week, our pattern changes towards a much better trend as we welcome the Guardians back home for games 3 and 4. And that should give us a very pleasant forecast. Temperatures 60s and a lot more sunshine on the way. We'll talk more about next week's pattern change coming up in just a few minutes.